join my little recovery warriors. Today's the 13th of January. Surrender the win. For addicts, or help for addicts begins only when we are able to admit our complete defeat. Basic text, page 22. Complete defeat. What a concept. That must mean surrender. Surrender, to give up absolutely, to quit with no reservation, to put up our hands and quit fighting. Maybe to put up our hands at our first meeting and admit we're addicts. How do we know we've taken the first step to allow us to live drug free? We know because once we have taken that gigantic step, we never have to use again, just for the day. That's it. It's not easy, but it's very simple. We work on the first step. We accept that, yes, we are addicts. One is too many and 1,000's never enough. We've proven that to ourselves. We've proven that to ourselves enough times. We say it out loud if necessary. We take the first step at the beginning of our day for one reason, or for one day. This admission frees us up, just for today, from the need to live out our addiction all over again. We've surrendered to the disease. We give up. We quit. But in quitting, we win. And that's the paradox of the first step. We surrender the win, and by surrendering, we gain a far greater power than we ever imagined possible. Just for the day, I admit that I am powerless over my addiction. I will surrender to win. Big facts. Big facts. Just went over my first step with my sponsor last weekend. And, obviously that's what we talked about. Surrender the win, man. I cannot control my use of drugs in any way, shape, or form. At all, man. When I put that shit in me, it runs my fucking life, and I'm headed to prison. And that's just what I do. I mean, that's my story. Drugs, prison, every time. So, and it's a matter of time. Look, my little baby got me a cup for Christmas. So, it sounds weak. Surrender the win. But it's actually really strong, and it's really fucking hard. I mean, it can be for a lot of us, surrender the win, and especially the people that don't understand this program or don't know there's another way. And when they hear some shit like that, they're like, yeah, right, you know what I mean? So I bet I do, you know what I mean? So, but without it, you're spinning your wheels. That is a fucking fact. And that's how I see a lot of shit. Like, it's real black and white to me. A lot of things is you either do it or you don't. You're either clean or you're not. You're either doing what the fuck you're supposed to be doing or you're not. And when you're not, you better be ready to suffer the fucking consequences. January 13th, inclusive and our sense of belonging. Inclusiveness and our sense of belonging. Our diversity strengthens and affirms the reality of our simple message across all of our differences. The same principle, the same simple program works. Guiding principles, tradition 5, word by word. In a simple message that any addict can stop using, lose the desire to use, and find a new way to live. Any addict. We've witnessed the proof that our program works for ourselves and addicts from all walks of life, those with oblivious similarities and those who are different from us. Tradition 5 states that a group's primary purpose is to carry NA message to the still suffering addict who, on any given day, could be a newcomer or a more experienced member. While most of us will acknowledge the above as true, it's not a given. Inclusiveness, like all spiritual principles, requires work. It takes practice and a degree of self-awareness. Our diversity is our strength. Is is just a slogan unless our diversity is our strength is just a slogan unless we take steps to actively include each other, welcome and remember each other, share and listen to each other. Nearly all of us walk into NA feeling different and separate, not a part of. Our job as members is to try to bridge the gap. While it's true that all have the same disease, we aren't the same people. When we look and feel different from one another, from everyone else in the room, that can challenge us. One longtime member described his experience like this: I walked into a meeting and nobody looked at me. I asked, "Where are my people?" And a member responded, "Oh, they're on their way. You have to stay, so you'll be here when they come." That made me feel included and that I had a purpose. It will do us well to remember that we are used to many factors defining us and our worth. Frankly, some of us have privileges and resources that others don't. While we like to say that stuff doesn't matter here, we need to keep actively demonstrating that to newcomers. We're all accountable to the fifth tradition. We must never take it for granted. One member wrote, "The disease wants us to focus on our differences. Recovery helps us appreciate our diversity, see beyond our differences, and know that we belong together." How am I putting our diversity is our strength into action? Today, I'll look for an opportunity to show another member that they belong. Yup, we be having issues with that around here in this area. Um, and I guess it's, you know, I don't know, man. There's a lot of like little cliques around here, and if you ain't like them, they don't fuck with you. Period. And man, I can't get with that. I get with everybody. I always have my whole life, even in high school. Man, I hung out with everybody, um, and so I've always been good at. Um, Even still, man, I snatch up the person that's struggling, or the person that doesn't think they don't fit, black or white, it doesn't matter, and try to, guide them and show them, man, that, um, that they belong here, man, that we all belong here. We all deserve a right to recover, and, I think that's important, man. So, I try not to go. I honestly try not to go to meetings where the people at that meeting only go to that meeting. I try to stay around people that go to all the meetings. Because there's unfortunately there's a lot of people, and I know people got lives and stuff like that, but it seems like there's just been like a lot of people like they only go to one meeting, and they got years clean, like, and they don't share that with us, and it kind of upsets me, but it is what it is, right? I just need to stay focused on myself, and some days that's a challenge, and some days it's really easy, but, I got some stuff going on today, my home groups today, I go every Saturday morning, and I enjoy it, and that's where my people's at. I love it, so I never feel judged or ridiculed there, because I feel like y'all came to my house, right? So I love my home group, and I love the people in it. So I love y'all. Y'all have a good day. Thanks for all the good stuff y'all say, and good comments, and the morale.